Hello everyone, welcome back. In this episode of Bitcoin Trade here, I'm sorry, not Bitcoin Trade, Bitcoin Prediction. Um, I'm going to talk about Litecoin, and it's kind of fitting. There's some more news coming out from China, and I'll talk about my little artwork and how Charles Lee, I think it's the little brother of Bobby Lee, and if you know Bobby Lee, uh, the exchange owner of Bitcoin China, not Bobby Lee, the Korean comedian that strips naked on stage. Different Bobby Lee, okay? But Bobby Lee of Bitcoin China is the brother of Charlie Lee or Charles Lee, supposedly. Not sure, although I can't really see the resemblance. But let me get back to that later. Let me do some price prediction, and let's see what's going on there. So hold on, before I go to that, let me go to the coin market cap, and I just want to make sure that okay. So I did Ethereum. Now I'm going to do Litecoin, and of course Ripple. I don't even know why it's even up here, but so Litecoin is next. So I just want to make sure on that before I go on to the chart analysis. Alright, so, okay. So I am on an hourly on Bitstamp. And it took a very violent, in 1 hour the price just started falling. Ironically, I was up for that. I got a phone call from the school district. It rained out here in Houston very heavily at night, so I'm assuming there's some flooding, so that's why they delayed the schools to open about 2 hours. So that's how I end up waking up. So woke up like really early in the morning. I think about 6 o'clock, at least 6 o'clock, and maybe even 5 o'clock. And I noticed that the price was a little bit lower. It was hovering around 900, just below 900, like 898 or something like that for a very while. And then all of a sudden it started dipping in the 70s and then 60s, and it reached all the way down to I think 750 or 850. Yeah, right around here, 852. So, and I was like, interesting. Something must be happening that there's this sell-off. So I looked around, did some research, and apparently Chinese rumors are floating around again. I think there's a technical aspect to it, but if you look at the price of, now it's rumored, I don't know if it's true. Today is Wednesday the 18th, according to my clock. Let's see if, yeah, today's Wednesday the 18th. It actually even says right there on the bottom of, bottom right there, Wednesday 18th, okay? And so, initial news statements coming from China, of course, is that there's some irregularities in the margin trading and some AML irregularities and fake volume. What else? I mean, it's been basically all these reports from China are basically the things that people have been saying for years and years, at least the volume part. The margin trading, but the fake volume, I think so. And so maybe some AML issues along with those fake volume trades, with irregularities in the margin trading and all that. It's always been highly suspected. Even before the People's Bank of China ever did any of this. Is it true? I would have to say that it's probably true, because a lot of people did feel that those volumes and the things going on in China were not real. And so I think there's a good possibility that these rumors are, there's a good chance they are true. So, but despite that fact, I mean, I still anticipated a pullback on technical analysis. So let me, this is on a 1 hour. Let me pull back here, and I'll kind of show you what has happened here. So as the price was going down, you had the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is 5, and then you got a little 1, 2, and then this is elongated 3, 3, and I did expect some pullback. I was expecting some pullback at 950, 950, right around this right here, 950. But it never got up that high. It only reached barely to the point of where it ended up dropping, only to work its way down. And so you know, that's a big push. That is really a big push down. It just, in 1 hour, again, just loses a good majority of its volume there, price movement. And you see that on an hourly anyway, the two averages have crossed over, and you see the way it's bounced back up, and it's hit the yellow line, the longer term average. Now that has become act as a resistance, and then also it's the white shorter term average has crossed over, and so you're seeing a little that's just a bounce up. It could be more going down. So there could be more on the short term. It looks like, and you gotta be careful on the short term, because short term is exactly that, short term. Short term, if this is the third wave, this is the fourth wave, then we should expect another push up higher, and which I think it'll go up to 950, me personally, or around this price right here. I'm looking at that particular line in the bottom of these, so somewhere around, you know, around this area right here, these two areas, so 950 to 960, and that could be your fifth wave going up on this smaller up wave coming here. Longer term, as you pull back, or as I should say, as I pull back, and I just go from 1 hour, excuse me, so I just go from 1 hour straight to 12 hour, okay, because just anything that you see 1 hour to 6 hour, it's still too short. There's a lot of price movement, and so you have to really pull back further to see what's going on. So on the 12 hour, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. That was my initial thought, and then a 5 down here. But this right here may not even be anything. This could literally be just 1, and then 2, and then a 3, and that, if you have a order in at 700, I think that's a good place to put a market order, or an order, a stop or a buy order at 700 if you're on the exchanges. If you're not on the exchanges and you're just trading peer-to-peer, look for the price to reach 700 before you make your next probably large purchase. A couple other factors is that I noticed Monday was a holiday. Tuesday, which was yesterday, I looked at local Bitcoins, and I just looked up the market for cash deposits in the US. Very few sellers. Very few sellers. So all those sellers probably couldn't get any Bitcoin at the lower price to enjoy the rise up, and the people that were on are probably people who have bought Bitcoin at around this area, the $900 area, and then they're just happy to offer their Bitcoin for sale to break even. And so if anybody's selling now, now those, let me see, Monday, there was like 80 listings, and how local Bitcoins work now is that one person can have multiple listings. So if you think about that, probably 50, 40 people were listing. on local Bitcoins, which is very low. So that was Monday and also yesterday, which was Tuesday, the 17th. So that told me that, okay, a lot of people, they're not selling because either don't have Bitcoins or the price is too low. Now the prices went up, and the price went up yesterday. But even yesterday, there wasn't a lot of sellers. There was less than 80. On average, there's 80 listings. So again, maybe instead of 40 people, there are 50 people. So, but today when I looked in the morning and I saw the price jump down a little bit, and it's about, oh, let me see. It's about 10 o'clock right now in Houston time. So by the time I looked at the listings on local Bitcoins, there were over 114. So there was an increased amount of people desperately trying to sell. So that tells me there's people that still have Bitcoins, or they just acquired their Bitcoins and they're trying to sell right now, midweek. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes. My feelings so far, just looking at the 12-hour, is that I mean, we still got, I think there's still another leg down in the price. Just rumors are coming around. You've already seen a sell-off on the rumors today. When Friday comes around, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, if this is a ploy to get people to sell, I don't know. Anyways, so far the indications are that we're still on this short-term downtrend. As you see, this is on the 12-hour, and we've just crossed the lines of crossover. It's come up, but it hasn't crossed over yet. You really have to wait for a confirmation, and a confirmation doesn't mean that one candlestick that goes up. You know, that one candlestick that just this candlestick that just goes up, and the second candlestick that stays above it. Sometimes you need to wait for 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 candlesticks before you get a positive confirmation that, you know, the trend is going back up. And so when you trade on longer term, patience is really key. Now when I look on the daily, so I'm on Bitstamp, I'm at the daily, and another thing is I'm looking at the price as well, and you can see that the premium has disappeared. There was a almost $20 premium when the price was going up. Now you're seeing it level out, and actually Bitstamp being higher, and look at Bitsy, they're really close. Actually Bitsy's higher than Bitphoenix, and usually when I see Bitsy higher, that means the price is right now falling and or going to fall. Prices, you're going to be getting lower prices here soon. Highly unusual. Usually Bitsy has a lower price when Bitsy kind of matches up in price. I kind of have a feeling that everyone's taking their Bitcoin to Bitsy because they're anticipating a price fall, and they've kind of sold their Bitcoins gradually on Bitsy, or bought Bitcoins on Bitsy and sold all their Bitcoins on whatever exchange they're at, the Chinese exchange, Bitphoenix. You know, Bitstamp, Bitphoenix, and the Chinese exchange are typically higher than Bitsy price. So when I see Bitsy being kind of higher than any, if Bitsy's higher than any one of these exchanges, that tells me that people are selling off on their exchange and buying Bitsy, because Bitsy usually comes at a lower price, but they're kind of arbitraging. But anyways, it's a wash anyway. But I think what they're doing is they're just moving their Bitcoins, doing some arbitrage, probably sending those Bitcoins back to eventually they'll send them back to the exchange again, from where they originally came from, to be bought back in again. You know, so a lot of arbitraging, a lot of bot trading going on probably. But overall, when you see that, again, price is going down, or prices are going down, which is the case right now. So that's what it looks like right here on the on the on the 1 day. So it interestingly has gone up and then pulled back, went past the longer term period average right here, and then look at it, it's just bounced. It kind of stopped right at the shorter term period, the yellow average right here, and it bounced off of that. It's kind of recovering, but the fact that it's the white average and the yellow average, it hasn't crossed over going up, it's not confirmed, and the fact that the price is below and in between, and the wick kind of pushed down below it, there could be more downward pressure. So 1, 2, and then 3. So that's why it's really important to get a full confirmation before you start buying in or selling in or getting all excited. Here on the 3-day, I have a 3-day right here, again on Bitstamp, and you can see clearly 1, 2, and then it's just holding on right about here. I mean, literally just holding right below it, just right below this average right here, which has been riding. It's been really the price has been riding this average above it for a very long time. So I think it's unrealistic to have it ride up again, especially after the big jump we've had recently. So on a technical level, I am expecting the price to dip lower. I'm actually expecting 700 price area. Let me see, right about here. I'm judging that by this block right here of candlesticks at 700, and also on a weekly. If you look at the weekly, you'll see that this longer term average is at 700. So I could anticipate this 1. This is going to be 2. We'll see how long before this stays up, and then problem is you have to wait 1 week, but there could be a 3, and just in case, a 4, and then a 5 going down to probably, I'm thinking 600, more like around 630, 640, but I'll just say 600. The way you want to play this, again, average cost, put in some market orders at 700, at 600. If you're trading on exchanges, you should always have some cash and some Bitcoin at any given point in time. Always have some of those, because this is where you're going to arbitrage US dollars and Bitcoin. If you're a peer-to-peer trader, you want to see the price hit those numbers, 700, 600. So once it hits 700, that's when you know to probably look for to buy some Bitcoins. How long it takes, I don't know. You won't get 700, but that'll be the signal for you to start, buying at 700, whatever you buy at. Another number to look at is also 600. So wait until the price goes down to 600, have it bounce whatever until it averages out somewhere, and then rebuy again back there. That's if it goes down. Now, if it goes up, the simple strategy is to continue your average cost buying. To continue that average cost, because let me see, the price, all it moved yesterday, I think it just moved $100. So if you're patient, you're missing out on a excuse me. Oh, bless myself. Anyways, you're only missing out on $100 moving range, which sounds like a lot, but considering that there's a possibility of the price to go down to 700 to 600, where there's almost a 300 price move range, and a possibility of going up back to 1,000 or 1,200 or even, I'm saying, 1,600. You really want to make sure you got a confirmation, and if that means waiting 1 more week, wait 1 more week. If you can handle, the volatility, the movements, that's fine. I'm in a long-term investment, so I'm literally just sitting back and watching. I have money, I have Bitcoin, and right now I just need to know whether I'm always going to be buying, but it has to hit certain price points for me to do that. And so far, if it's ranging within that $100, I'm not going to do anything. So it has to move above it or below it. And so that's my strategy. And again, just average cost. If anything, you can just average cost. But if you want to take more of a increase your purchase of Bitcoin, wait until 700 and wait until 600. Other than that, just continue average cost, a little bit amount, average cost, see how it goes, and you know, I think overall in the long run you'll come out on top doing that. So, anyways, so sorry about that long rant on the price. Let's go back to the artwork now. All right, so Litecoin, everyone, Litecoin. So this is what I got on Litecoin here. And so for those of you who don't know anything about Litecoin, I will try to explain. Litecoin was basically pretty much a copy of Bitcoin with some minor tweaks. I don't think there's a limit or a cap on Bitcoin. And also I think the block times are shorter, like 2 or 3 seconds or something like that. And so that's pretty much the difference in Litecoin and Bitcoin. Charlie Lee, or Charles Lee, is also the brother of Bobby Lee. And Charles Lee right here, this gentleman, works at Coinbase, and ironically the first other coin that was offered by Coinbase, or GDAX, was Ethereum, even though the co-founder Charles Lee invented Litecoin and was there all the time, and Litecoin had a market and was being traded, and Coinbase didn't even bother to add that until after it offered Ethereum. So it's kind of weird. And in any case, so he is one of the co-founders at Coinbase. He's working at Coinbase right now. And let me see here. Let's go over this. It shouldn't be too long. This Litecoin, you see that is in the background. Charles Lee, the picture of Charles Lee and Litecoin are in the background. And what I got here is you got that is the official logo of the Litecoin, and that's the creator. That's him. That's his LinkedIn picture. Although I've seen other pictures, he looks older. So this must be when he was younger. And as you see, that's the official logo. But what I got here is actually the coin logo, which I think a lot of people see that. And you can see that little halo of Litecoins going around Charlie Lee. It's actually coming out a little bit. If you can see that. If you can parallel view this and see this in 3D, you'll be able to see it now. But again, I'll put a picture up in front at the beginning and the end of this video. And of course, if you know how to view an audio stereogram in a parallel view, all you have to do is just focus, look into it, and see past the background, but look at the image in front of you. Anyways, it takes a while to practice, but man, you should be able to see it on video. It's really popping out. And what I got here is a little lightning, and the reason I have the lightning is because Litecoin will be implementing segregated witness and Lightning Network, and they are basically a test net for the Bitcoin segregated witness and Lightning Network. And so I think this is Litecoin is referred to as a testnet for Bitcoin because so much of the similarities as far as the coding, and also it's not quite a large market cap. And if Charles Lee, I don't know if he's implementing or if the people mining Bitcoin, mining Litecoin are implementing it, but it is a great testnet, and we'll see how that works. That's why you see the lightning bolts, and of course you got Bitcoin in the lightning bolts. if you notice that these two kind of look a little weird, like translucent, solid, kind of weird. It's just the way I did it. Did the audio stereogram. You see, I made one lighter and one more transparent than the other. And when you stereo view it, it kind of looks weird. It's like I don't know how to explain it, but you just have to see it. Anyways, of course, the reason why there's a Bitcoin there is because those ideas come from Core, segregated witness, and Lightning. And so to see it, have it done on a altcoin.
A vast virus database has been updated.
Thank you, Advast. You just really know when to, talk when you don't, I wish you would just speak when you're spoken to, really. Anyways, and that's kind of why you see the Lightning there. At some point in time, Litecoin will be implementing segregated witness in the Lightning network. We'll see how that goes. And if it works and it improves whatever efficiency, scaling, whatever you want to call it, but the fact that it works will be a huge boost to Litecoin. And that's why I got Shazam there, because if the Lightning Network works and segregated works, Shazam is what you're going to be saying. You'll be like, Shazam! I'm glad I got some Litecoin, for anyone who has Litecoin. So that's why I got Shazam down there. And if you could see this Lightning right here, and Shazam's in the background, actually behind the background slightly a little bit. This is coming up forward, and then it gradually goes back into the background there. And so hopefully this will give Lightning a little boost. The Lightning Network, Segregated Witness Lightning Network, will give Litecoin a boost. And if it does really well, we may have to change the name to Lightning Coin instead of Litecoin. If I think that'd be great. Charlie Lee should just rebrand Litecoin to Lightning Coin. I mean, it already has an L in it, and so if it works and it starts boosting his network and boosting his blockchain, the Litecoin blockchain, and it's getting some really good positive feedback, he should change the name to Lightning Coin. I mean, that'd be something. But anyways, you'll see that right here. This one is pretty nice. It really comes out in pretty good 3D. That the Lightning Bitcoin and the little lightning spark and Shazam. Anyways, hope you all enjoy this. So there's not much to say about Litecoin. It's the highest price I think it ever went to was like, correct me if I'm wrong, is $40. Litecoin was at one point $40 a coin, and so that was impressive. But for the most part, it's always been considered the silver to Bitcoin, and I have used it because I at one point had to I was trying to transfer some Bitcoins out of an exchange, but for some reason Bitcoin withdrawals were unavailable, so I had to buy Litecoin, send them over to another exchange to buy Bitcoin, and then I withdrew my Bitcoin. And it was quick, or quick as it can be. I mean, the problem with the exchanges, they require like 3 to 6, confirmations, so I still had to wait, and but that's the only time I ever used Litecoin. After that, I sold all the Litecoin to get Bitcoin. But it works just the same. You get a wallet, you get an address, and that's about it. It's pretty much the same. But again, there's not much to say about it. Created in, I would say a little bit before 2013, because I used it in 2013, so maybe 2012. I'm not sure exactly when it was created. You can all look it up. But Charles Lee was the creator of this, and he just basically forked Bitcoin and changed the block time, and I don't think there's a cap on Litecoin. So anyways, hopefully this will help you out. And I guess this concludes this episode. So feel free to like, dislike, leave a comment, or even do a video response. Until next time, stay tuned. Bye.